What is the perception of general counsel at the board level?
I think generally the impression of the general counsel and the value that the general counsel brings to the enterprise has grown exponentially recently. And I think it's very important in terms of strategy and risk, not only that the general counsel understand the business and understand the accounting issues and the financial issues, but also that the general counsel can go to the board and say, you've got to ask a lot of these questions, that there's no such thing as a stupid question. And when it comes to risk, there are 25 questions that we can think of that you should be making sure the board is focused on. Like, what is our strategy? What is our risk? What can go wrong? Can you have a perfect storm with everything going wrong? And that has happened.
One of the interesting things that happened, which was shown in the survey, was the evolution of the role in terms of how we're perceived as general counsel in an organization. And one thing in the last 5 years that certainly has happened is that general counsel become the first point of contact versus external lawyer, a senior lawyer. I'm interested in your reflections. Is that the case with your organizations?
It'll depend on the issue. In some instances, the board may ask, have you talked to external counsel? But generally speaking, yes, the legal group is the first point of contact.
Simon?
In my case, the CEO looks to me. I am the first line of defense, and it's up to me entirely as to how I handle a particular matter.
And certainly we're not putting great law firms like Wall Gotshal out of business. You're doing very well in New York.
Feel free to call me anytime.
Yeah, and that's my question. I mean, when do you get those calls? How do you interact now? How has that changed in the last 5 years in terms of how you interact with general counsel?
Well, it depends on the issue, it depends on the client. Right. For example, if you're doing a major acquisition, you're going to find that there are all kinds of prickly issues like antitrust, and you have to make sure the directors have exercised their fiduciary duties, because with almost every merger and acquisition, there's going to be litigation of some sort. So you have to have your litigators there with the business lawyers and the business people to structure the transaction so you make it as bulletproof as you can make it.
To join in on the discussion and provide your insights, we invite you to visit our Deloitte Canada blog.